Now your spine, right, is your spine is where your nerves meet at too. It's not only where your bones meet, it's where your nerves meet. Every nerve is connected to your central nervous system, right? Your nerves don't just float around. Like, you got probably disconnected nerves that probably can reach and send remote signals to other nerves through probably these cells, because you got cells in your body too, right? You even got free cells, right? That just float around you, just like the blood cells float around in that water, right? But it's not a whole lot of fluid that's not really already contained in your body, right? You got skin, and that's on top of this muscle that is flesh, but your muscles is not all juicy like they feel. Those are actual fibers, like those are actual, that's all to building that power, that is that electricity that's flowing through your nerves, actually, right? All right, so as you pumping your muscles, you building up that cell power, right? That cell motion, that cell activity, to where now it's just that much more fluid, that it's more fluent, right? The motion is much more open, to where the currents are less foggy, you'll be, you crisping it off. And I'm only mentioning the spine because that's your bones. The blood come from the bones. The blood come from the bones. The air gets to your brain through the blood. The air gets to your brain through the blood, right? But your heart is where you do. Everybody think your heart make blood. No, your heart don't make blood. It just pumps the blood through your body. The blood come from the bones, right? Now, what does happen in your heart is it mixes your blood. It takes the blood with the oxygen in it. Wait. It takes your blood, because when you breathe, it don't go to your heart. It goes to your lungs, right? And then from your lungs, it goes into your heart, I think, right? And then from your heart, it goes into your brain, right? Because the only thing that need air is not your brain, right? So I would imagine it meets up, and then it goes from wherever it would go from in your heart, in whatever veins, to your brain. And it gives your brain that air too, and it also gives whatever else needs air. But what's funny is, like, right, your lungs get the air first, even before your heart, right? Your lungs get the air first, right? So it goes into the lungs. It moves through what? Exactly. To get to your heart. Other veins, right? Or does it go straight into your bone, right? Because see, one thing about the blood that your bone make, it don't have no DNA in it, right? The DNA is added to the blood after it come out your bones. Okay, now what is DNA? DNA is spirit, is that air in itself. It's the way you think that make your DNA. The DNA is not in your bones. The DNA come out of your heart. The DNA come out of your heart. Okay? Now, the quality of your thoughts influences the frequency, what is it called? The conduction, the powerfulness, the connectivity of your nervous activity, of your connectivity of your nervous activity, your quality of your thoughts, right? Right? Because even your breath affects your heart rate. But you got to think to breathe correctly. And the only thing that's going to stop you from breathing, at least at a calm, leveled, base, steady pace, for starters, let alone a decidedly deeper breath and more advanced structured breathing, which, as I just mentioned, affects and determines the qualities of your heart rate, or your heart rate, right? Which your heart rate in itself now regulates your reception, your clarity, right? And nervous activity as well. So it's a mixture of two things. It's the power of your thoughts and the rate of your heart, your pulse, right? Now, what does that have to do with your breathing, though? Like I said, your breathing also fucking controls, or rather manages, your heart rate, but through your brain activity, right? Now the air goes to the lungs, to the heart, but the action of breathing in itself affects your brain before it affects your heart. Okay, why? Well, think about it. Let me think about it. I was to think about it. Shit, let me think about it. Right, so muscles, right? Because the brain is a muscle in itself, and that's kinetic energy. Yeah, right, the nerves. Yeah, right, because we was talking about air, right? Because you're doing two things when you're breathing, right? You're contracting muscles when you breathe, right? Because even though it's your lungs that's getting the air, you're breathing with your chest and shit, and your heart is in your chest. But it's not necessarily even in your chest, your heart ain't. It's just next to your chest. You know what I mean? And you breathing don't have nothing to do with your heart, except for the fact that the air get to your blood, the air in your blood through your heart. You know what I mean? So, because it come right from the lung, right to the heart, I would imagine, and go to wherever else it would go to from there. I mean, the lung's gonna take it where? The lung's gonna take it to your heart. The heart gonna take it through the blood to whatever other organs. Right? But the heart is getting blood from your motherfucking skeleton. Right? That's how it make the blood that it mixing with the air and the DNA to send wherever else nigga the DNA's got function at. What the fuck do DNA do? It tells your organs what to do. It's a gene, nigga, that controls other fluids called hormones, nigga. So as for your liver to do what it's supposed to do, it's giving your liver information so as to what actions to perform. It's what DNA does. Okay? Now, as far as the quality of your thoughts, that has to do with the air in your brain. Also, even just physically speaking, to begin with. Right? Now, it comes down to the physical for another purpose as to how spirit connects to earth also through human, but we already away from that to begin with. So we got to go through that to even get back to what we even think to come back down, as to not even to where we're not even using it in that way, to where we don't even not breathing unregularly already anyway, because we not, like I said, we thinking incorrectly, right? Because like, say for instance, like as far as breathing regularly, like the heart rate and shit, right? We all excited and all this other shit, you know what I mean? You got fucking hypertension, synapses be foggy, wooty wop, but it'll change with the air. I mean, the air is what? The air is atoms in itself, yeah? So it's really funny how it is. It's extremely funny how it is. But see, it's a simple mixture. It's not like a compound. So even though it may be molecules of oxygen, I don't know, that's just an interesting thing, because it's like, how is the whole structure made? Like, right, you know what I mean? Like, you got a molecule of oxygen, and if everything is oxygen, and the very atoms in themselves have to permeate through what is called air, right? Because you got vapor, right? You got whatever vapor, you got a mist. Like, say, for instance, gas, right? What's a gas? Neon gas, or whatever else. What is a gas? Helium is a gas, right? Hydrogen gas, I don't think about what hydrogen gas would be. It sounds dangerous to me, but helium definitely is a gas, right? A vapor, right? And the gas moves through Through what? Through oxygen. Or does it? Because if it was moving through oxygen, that means that it would have to be oxygen. But how can it move through oxygen? Oh, because it's something other than oxygen, right? So say for instance, like, okay, so look, you got the gas, the helium, moving through oxygen, right? But oxygen is an element and fucking helium is an element, right? And the only difference between those two elements is the amount of electrons that's circulating the particular concentrated point of organization of that same consciousness, which is light in itself. Okay? Now air though. Yes, air. Yes. Is oxygen. But it's not just oxygen. It's oxygen atoms in between space. Right? Because all of air is not oxygen, yo. On this surface of this earth, in this atmosphere, there's more air than there would be in a vacuum space, right? Which probably don't have no air or whatever. Or maybe just like one molecule, atom of air to every million atoms of nothing or whatever. Like right here next to everything else or next to each other, the breath we breathe in, it's got probably a million atoms to every one atom of nothingness or space, right? Because the fucking oxygen has to move through something. The oxygen atoms in themselves have to move through something, my nigga. So what is it moving through if it's not air itself? Right? Because air is an element, but then oxygen is an actual scientific element, right? So, but then we got the 4 elements, right? This is something that's been on my mind. Right? Now we got air, fire, water. They say the water come first. They really say the air come first. And then some people say that the fire come first, but really fire, you can't have fire without air, right? But then a lot of times they say the air come and then they say the air come first, right? And not the fire. Some people say fire come first, then the air, then the water. Because of course, water is air, got the air in it, right? But, and then some people say the fire come first, then the air, then the water. Some people say air, fire, then water. But how you go from fire to water, right? And how you go from water to fire? You dig? So the fire gotta be first, right? Which is the ether. But as it breaks down into fire, then whatever else ain't fire would be air, right? But it's all water in itself, because even in water, that's hydrogen atoms, bro. The substance is translated into our fucking, relatable sort of, reference association as this wet water, but it's got fire in it, low key. The same thing that make fire is in water, which is hydrogen, right? The ether is the closest thing to ether you're gonna get is the hydrogen, yes? Because even stars in themselves, the very light, the very fire, the hottest heat, the brightest fire naturally made is a fucking turbine of hydrogen. The only thing that even exists in us, in the star, is hydrogen and helium. More helium than hydrogen, low key. Oh, wait. I'm thinking no, they don't have helium in it. They got hydrogen. It's hydrogen, actually. It's not helium. It's helium in it too, though. I think it might be more helium. No, it's more hydrogen. Yeah, it's more hydrogen in the star. So I'm saying helium, but I'm supposed to be saying hydrogen. So, being that water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, right? But the same air is supposed to be oxygen, but air is not just oxygen, though, right? Air's got a mixture of hydrogen in it too, to a certain extent. And that's why they say water is 2 atoms of air with the oxygen now. You feel me? You got the H2O, right? Which is the 2 hydrogens right? And one oxygen, right? But even that's air. And one oxygen, right? But even that's air, right? And then hydrogen in itself, it's a gas, really, honestly. That's actually what hydrogen is a gas. But then helium is also a gas, right? But then oxygen is a gas also, right? So yeah, no, oxygen is air though, right? But then it's like air is a gas, I guess you could say, right? Yeah, air is a gas. You know, when you think of it that way, then you understand what I'm saying to you. Then you kind of connect what it is that I'm saying as far as like air moving. Because gas is intelligent. That's why it's rising. Like, you know what I mean? You see, you can have some visible gas, whatever visible gas you can imagine. I don't even know what the name of some visible gas would be. Smoke is the only visible gas I can think of. And as you see, that moves. You know, you put some gas in a beaker in a scientific experiment, you're going to see that shit moving around. If it has color to it, it's going to be moving. It's going to be spreading. That's what air does. But it's spreading in itself, within itself, amongst itself. You dig? And that's what air is, or that's what oxygen does in air, right? But what is air in itself? Oxygen is a gas itself, right? Oxygen is a gas, but what is air? Air is oxygen, yes, but okay, all right. Well, what is hydrogen? Hydrogen is also a gas, yes, and oxygen is a gas. Then what is water? And how you get water from two gases, right? That's just interesting to me. But anyway, as far as the breathing, you take in the water. I mean, we are water. We're made up of water is another thing too, is what I'm saying too. We're all made up of water, which that gas, the oxygen we breathe into our body, it is part of the oxygen. But then that hydrogen is the light that we get in also, that mixes with the water to give us life. Light and water, right? So hydrogen, oxygen, and then that's making up water, hydrogen, oxygen, right? And so, but then the air, the oxygen in itself is a gas, right? And that's going into our body. And that's just how it works. That's how we use that oxygen. And that's probably why the oxygen moved through the blood and do what it need to do or whatever, right? But it goes to the lungs. It goes to the lungs, from the lungs to the heart. Heart then takes that oxygenized blood from the lungs. So what's happening in the lungs and why the lungs are so bloody, because you got the liver too, and that actually fucking filters your blood. But the lungs in itself, the lungs be bloody too, right? Now you always mix the lungs up with the liver. The liver is just super ultra just bloody, right? But then you got the lungs, right? And those have mad veiny sort of nerves in it, right? So maybe the air go through the nerves and not just the blood. That's crazy, because if you look at lungs, they look like they got a bunch of veins in it, I think, maybe. Then maybe those are veins and not nerves. But either way, that's just something to learn about. But right, so look, it goes from the lungs to the heart, right? Through either veins or nerves, right? Because it's probably not gonna go through the blood anyway, right? So I'd imagine that the air go through the nerves. Like, but can the nerves fucking move the air? I don't know. Either way, it's got to go into the blood through the lungs. If it's going through blood to the heart, right? That's cold, man. I don't know how that works. But the reason I'm even mentioning that is just communication. As far as like air too, though, like, and when you're breathing, right? As far as like every fucking minute of your, every year of your life is another minute you should fucking breathe daily, or it would be good daily, because of course that's the cycles, right? You got a cycle of a complete sort of sequence, yes, to where now the earth then turned around, right? And the same moment is happening again, right? For the next time within this 24 hours, the earth then turned around. So now want to do that same thing. You want to try to have a sequence also within yourself, and that just makes the most sense. Because you're already breathing already. You're having a cycle of breath. You're having these breaths are already happening within your body. Your body, every few seconds, every 10 seconds, you need an exhale, and every 10 seconds, you didn't inhaled or whatever, right? So it's like, and how? What's the rate of that? Because a lot of times we get to thinking, and this is another point of what I'm saying. We get to thinking, and we don't even be breathing out for 20 seconds, 30 seconds. We fuck around and talk for 3 minutes and don't take a breath. Be waiting to breathe until we stop, until we finish our sentence, and the sentence end up being about fucking 73 seconds and shit, right? And we taking like little short breaths, but then those are just like little, not really even just really full breaths. And we like breathing in between, we breathing in between breaths really. And that's why it's important to focus breathe, because it just gives you back, it just kind of gives you back that advantage. It puts you back in the driver's seat. But like, okay, right, so then like, okay, look, so every day it's good to do that, because it's like it just kind of aligns you. It's an alignment, it's a sort of situation. You feel me? And it's not necessarily every day, but even if it's not every day, it's going to end up being at some point throughout the week. You feel me what I'm saying? Like, this is just called, it's just the synchronization of it. It's this time in itself, right? Which plays out tangibly in particular, just, sequences, as well as, relatable, direct sort of exchanges. From minutes to hours to days to weeks to fucking months to years, right? To lifetimes, right? To generations and from there to dimensions, my nigga. Yes? And that's how you are able to make that connection and bridge those very moments, my nigga. It's like you would never be able to imagine it because you're not even in the rhythm of associating with the structure of it so separately, as opposed to it being so separately and so distinctively, as to just, do what it is that you gotta do in order to continue almost doing what it is that you are here to do, or what the body is made to do. You know what I'm saying? What the body's made to do is to generate, my nigga, energy in a particular signaturized style. Okay? Now, that's what I'm saying to you right now, even with communication and the circle of sound and speech. Okay? The thoughts we having are not accentuating that, are not complementary to that. You know what I mean? Are in contrast to that sort of rhythm, more sort of harmonious, sort of natural rhythm and resonance, as well as alignment of resonances, right? Through the practice, my nigga, through the actual exercise, through the expression. Yes, because even in exercising, you're now emitting, you're now expressing, right? It's a regulation, it's a regularizing, right? It is now a customization of whatever expression, whether it be movement, whether it be focus, whether it be stretching, whether, you know what I'm saying, the charging, you building your muscles, you can't do, you're gonna have to stop doing push-ups at a point, right? And even if you wait until you can do push-ups, you're gonna do less and less push-ups unless you rest those muscles and do something else. And whatever it is you start to do other than that, now you have stopped that session of that exercise in that practice sequence. Okay? Right? You have a set of whatever type of exercise you're doing, whether it be physical, fucking mental. It's all connected anyway through the time you're spending doing it and the rhythm, as well as the natural sort of function of it, right? Because my nigga, you're going to breathe in between breaths. You're going to move in between sittings, right? But if by the time you done already charged up between each of these things, we're able to organize them like a person you need to make sure you call, and also have the time when the fucking alert go off so that you ain't gotta put it on where it's reminding you every time. I guess that's not too hard to do, just like it ain't too hard to do what I'm saying as far as even just metabolically with your metabolism and all this extra shit, and as far as your digestion too. It's all connected anyway is what I'm saying, right? It's like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, by the time you get done doing push-ups, now you can do some sit-ups. The same muscles involved with your push-ups, bro, are not in your sit-ups, my nigga. As soon as you get done doing your sit-ups, you're gonna be ready to do some more push-ups. You can switch off through between those two exercises for the rest of your life. You ain't even about to stop. Yeah. To be honest, you can do 3 push-ups. That's easy to manage. Then do 5 sit-ups. Eventually, after about 5 hours, you ain't gonna be able to do one push-up, another push-up, or fucking sit-up without doing something other than those 2 things. And now your set is over, right? And whenever it is that you get ready to do another set, let it be organized. Because it's going to happen anyway unless you never do another set again. And that's not healthy. So it's like, yeah, what is there to do? What is necessary? Let us make a fucking plot. Let us organize and structure those things that are necessary to do. You know what I mean? Like learning, like teaching, like living, like eating, like fucking, like breathing, right? Like nothing. You dig? Like speaking. Like speaking. Like listening. Is what I'm referring to, yo. The dance. You know what I'm saying? The harmonious sequence. You know what I mean? Right? Let alone leg lifts, my nigga. Let alone lunges, my nigga. Let alone pull-ups, my nigga. Right? 10 dips, 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 jumping jacks, 10 pull-ups. All right? That's the sequence. If you can do 100, you should be able to get to 100, especially on day 10. Right? Your shit gonna be sore, my nigga, but after you get through the soreness, being that it's light and you're not overdoing it and you're not imbalanced with your fucking approach, and it's all-encompassing, universal, to where it's focused on every different part of your body, which is in union with itself and to begin with. These are all parts of the same fucking organism, right? Just like veins to bones to blood to nerves, nigga, to tissue, nigga. They're all made of cells. And what do these cells need is the question. They need oxygen and water. Yes? So you can't drink water and only water. You're gonna have to regulate your water. Otherwise, you're gonna wash out minerals that your body need to be working with. Right? That's why they say don't drink when you eat. You need to drink at times different than when you eat. Right? So if you're not drinking while you're eating, that means that you need to digest your food aside from you taking water in. And it take how long to digest your food? How long did it take to digest food? Well, shit, that's another question that niggas supposed to know. How many hours do it take? I mean, you know, I'm saying ideally when it comes to a conscious practice, as far as mastering. You know what I mean? You can always, involve yourself with somebody. When you advance as an adult, now you're maturing. Maturing is mastering. We're talking about growth. We're talking about, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about propensity, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So these are all things to consider as far as like, the time you have within your day. You know what I mean? Like a nigga can stay up 3 hours straight just binging on getting something done. And that's kind of like what it is. But at the same time, honestly, if you structure your day correctly, by the time you look up, you're going to be falling asleep from just, you know what I mean? Your natural cycle of rest and just fucking everything just kind of, collecting itself, right? You sit down to do what is necessary for you as far as like, you can even say you can collect your thoughts to write down your thoughts at the end of the day. right? They say to relive your day from the last thing that happened to the first thing that happened, right? That's good to do. It's for you to even have more prophetic and also more vivid dreams, which dreaming is important. So if you ain't been having no dreams, then that's a red flag, right? As far as even just structuring your mind and your thoughts, because you know what I'm saying, those thoughts make your DNA. Those thoughts make your DNA, cuz. Literally, bro. Right? And certain thoughts will fight against your DNA if your DNA is not even designed for particular type thoughts. Okay? Now, this is facts, cuz. Now, you know what I mean? Now, trust me, like, the reason I'm saying all this shit to you, cuz, is because I choose what not to say and what to say. I choose what can stand to be said along with whatever else could be said about what I'm saying. I'm not trying to prove a fucking point to you. I'm just I'm presenting what it is I understand and appreciate as far as the purpose for it and even the significance of it. You feel me? And I know that I'm wrong on much of what I'm saying, but how can I be wrong on things that I'm speculating on?
It's not now about being wrong or right. It's about being sure. It's not about being wrong or right. It's about being sure.
Right? It's not about being wrong or right. It's about being real or fake. And that's what the whole point is. Like, the more you do that's actually natural, then the stronger you become. You feel me? Like I was about to say, like, at the end of the 100 days, you do 100 every day, which even if you only do 10 every hour, in 10 hours, nigga, that's 100. And you're gonna be woke 10 hours. Right? Let alone 1,000 if you do 100 every hour for 10 hours, right? Right? It don't take but nigga 5 to 10 minutes to do 100 push-ups, if 5 at all. And you do that 10 times a day, that's 1,000 a day. That's what Bruce Lee did. Right? Now you want to put that with the sit-ups, with the arm lifts, with the pull-ups, with the leg lifts, with the lunges, with the squats, with the jumping jacks. Now really you can just do the sit-ups, the push-ups, the pull-ups, and the jumping jacks, and the squats. The squats are important. The lunges are important, good. The handstands are important, good. Inverted upside down push-ups, nigga. On your hands. You know what I'm saying? Eventually to where you don't even need that wall behind you. You can hop in the air, land on your hands, nigga. Do 10 push-ups, nigga. Standing straight up and inverted vertically, cuz. That's part of the set. Ain't gonna take you about 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. You can get back to, you know what I'm saying? Then you can get back to the stretch marks in the canine teeth. Yes. Calculating the inches of the stretch mark on the canines. Yes. But your thoughts gonna be crispier. You're gonna be thinking, you know what I mean? It's gonna be harder for you to get mad. To be honest, it is. I mean, you might try to say niggas are aggressive, but it's even that much harder for a fucking fit person to get aggressive. They just already aggressive. And it would be even easier for them to get aggressive if they wasn't fit. It's the facts, nigga. That's the facts, homie. It ain't them being, you feel me, big monstrous ass fucking big, you know what I mean? Physical people that make them so. I mean, a lot of times you can get in a mix and it is an imbalanced sort of practice, and it does fuck up your whole sort of aggression anyway, because for one, you're doing steroids, you're taking all these fucking supplements and fucking up your whole shit anyway. So that, I mean, you know, I'm saying naturally, like if you know what I mean, if you using your body strength to gain more body strength, like in Tai Chi, is what the whole nother thing too, as far as like how you can do the shit continuously and never stop, nigga. You can meditate while you fucking exercising, nigga. While you're breathing, my nigga. Breathe, exercise, and meditate simultaneously, nigga. Continuously, simultaneously, nigga, while you fucking on a broad, homie. And never stop, bro. Unless you gotta go to work. Right? And that can be involved too. Like, you can be doing that, nigga. Ain't no reason why you can't be farming while you You ain't gotta close your eyes and meditate, cuz. You feel me? A nigga like me will straight float, float in a nice prancefully manner, nigga, onto my field, homie, and water my fucking squash, nigga, man, yes, no, and I'm fucking doing a mantra and all type of extra shit, nigga, you feel me? And just the fact that this stretch that I'm doing right now, nigga, I'm right over the fucking yoni. Just I happen to be right over the yoni when I bust into this Tai Chi sort of stretched pose and shit. And I'm finna be in this pose for the next 3 hours, and the yoni finna be right there in the position it need to be as I'm in this focused position, nigga. It's just a dance. No electronics involved, cuz. The only machine is that generator that is your body. It's those cells, okay? That power plant that is the body, the organs, and how they relate to each other through that sunlight, my nigga. Okay? And that right there will have you on some other shit, bro. Your shit will be so crazy. Cuz. I'm not saying like walk around naked, but I am, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Walk around naked, you know what I mean? Not in public, you know what I mean? I'm talking about on your land, cuz. You know what I'm saying? On your land, not in a, you feel me? Not in a metropolitan fucking civilian neighborhood, cuz. I'm talking about on your land that you didn't work hard to, right? Right? That's a possibility for you that you've made possible through your success. Yes, get there. Once you're there, now you can start. Right? And in the meantime, just know you're not doing what you would be doing to be doing anything to begin with. And so it just takes that much more to do to be able to do, cuz. You gotta do double to even start on anything at this point. You gotta do double to even start on anything at this point. And that is also communicated and revealed through our communication with our loved ones, family. Okay? In simple terms. But it's really very involved and intricate in just all the components that relate to it, in that it relates to. And it is very relative, okay? Because that's what we deserve. That's what our body is designed for. It's not designed to be a fucking component, a spoke of a gear of a machine. It is its own machine. It is its own machine. Each of us are our power plants, okay? Making a grid of kinetic, etheric, sort of conscious, psychic connections and lanes, right? And what is the design? It's a beautiful structured frame of whatever the sculpture is between people. What they think, but it still takes you thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just one angle of this beautiful sculpture that is humanity. Right now, nigga, we got dangerous, jagged, fucking unfinished, hazardous fucking portions and areas of this entity that is humanity right now, yo. We gotta watch our back. We can't be too free around this right now because shit, it still gotta get shaped off. Okay? It's a work in progress. Right? It ain't nothing to discuss just yet. We ain't gonna be talking around what it is that we will be saying once it is that we ain't gotta say what it is. That ain't even to be said no more. Anyway. We ain't gonna be talking around what it is that we will be saying once it is that we ain't gotta say what it is. That ain't even to be said no more. Anyway. That's all I mean, right? So it's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying in so many words, okay? Like, I know I'm saying all this shit. It's like, why the fuck you still saying this shit, okay? Like, you still saying what you're saying? Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you did what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Like, what would you do? You gonna get online? No. Yeah, get online, brother. Align. You gotta get online and stay lining, right? Because, bro, I'm telling you now, dog, you're gonna get to a point like Bruce Lee was headed, the dragon, right? That's why they murked my nigga. He wasn't finna stop. He didn't have to make no more money, cuz nigga came from nothing. Cuz nobody had to pay him to peak himself, nigga, to be better every moment, cuz this nigga was the master, cuz. Nobody fuck with Bruce Lee, nigga. You better shoot this nigga. You not finna walk up to cuz and hit this nigga, homie. This nigga is elements, homie. My nigga will move forward and back at the same time on your ass, cuz. This nigga will hit you, will kick you with a punch, cuz. Bruce Lee, my nigga, will punch you with his feet. Okay, why? Well, because he was focused, bro. Because he was focused, bro. Not on image, not on telling you, but on showing you. So anything he might have said to you would have only just enhanced what you're able to understand through actual experience, actual practice, and continued relation. Open, honest, genuine, complete, right? Because you can always dance around the subject, but it's gonna come back around to where the only reason why the dancing was proper or allowed or appropriate is so that you can be able to, of course, now capitalize on the compromising that had transpired. You know, and that's that understanding, and that's that love, and that's what they want to get at. You know, they want to fatigue us to where now, shit, now when that opening come, we didn't got too comfortable making excuses. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh snap, dog, she was waiting for that little bit, but then it's like, why would you want to give her that little bit when she is all of everything you needed to be and all of the inspiration to begin with, like, you know? You know what I mean? Like, through that open exchange, ain't nothing wrong, ain't no wrong that can happen anyway, my nigga. Ain't no wrong that can happen, cuz. You know what I mean? Nothing to worry about except for the time you spending that you shouldn't be, right? And once you get to a point to where now you done invested your time wisely and proactively and universally balanced and harmoniously, shit, man, there's nothing else to do but explore, man, and you know what I mean? And extend and advance, man, and align, my nigga. Which it's nothing to do but that anyway. And everything we already doing is already doing that, and in one sense of the one of the sense of the matter of the senses regardless. It's just that we have to allow ourselves to acknowledge it. We have to allow ourselves not to deny it, not to become resentful in response to the incompleteness of it. You know, because that happens, because it's like, it's no reason why we can't do it all at once, but it's like, you have to do it step by step till you get to that point. You have to build up to that point, you know what I mean? You can't, Rome wasn't built in a day, you know? You can't get in you wanna win the marathon and ain't ran one race. Ain't ran one race. What's that one line? You said, they wanna get in this game and ain't ran one race. You know, it's like, you gotta stretch your feet, man. You gotta learn how to learn, you feel me? You gotta learn how to learn, you feel me? You gotta learn how to teach. You know what I'm saying? And that's this whole situation as far as you ain't even speaking on what it is that you could be speaking on to begin with. And that's how you learn how to, you feel me? It's like the truth is the truth, but the truth in itself is information, and information is knowledge. Knowledge is to be applied as to extend the very essence of life. Life is truth. Truth is life, okay? You know? Yeah, man. And so it's like, yeah, man, yeah. As far as breathing, you start with your breathing. That's something easy. I say that's one switch that can happen and it'll be real easy, man. I'm telling you the truth, man. Right? And I know that's why it's like, okay, you motherfuckers gonna act like I know, bro. No. And yep, you know why? Because I'm gonna fall across it. I'm gonna fall into it like I did the first time. And I can't go against that natural just happenstance, which is coincidence, which there's no coincidences, but there is a certain thing as fucking what do you call it? Serendipity. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I want her there with me. You know what I mean? I'm a guru, nigga. Like, you know, I need my girl guru, girl. Not that I need her, but she need me, and I need her as much as she need me. And we got each other already, and I ain't, you know what I mean? You know, I'm not greedy. I ain't greedy. For real, like. You know, especially when you look at it like that, it's like you expect what you should expect for a reason, and I've been through it, bro. I know what it look like. I can smell it, okay? And right now, it's real sulfur. It's you know what I mean? It's dingy. It's got a twinge to it right now. I can smell copper in it right now. It's got some copper in there. It's got a bit of rust. You know how copper rust? It's got that green sort of fucking mildew. The copper do, right? You know what I'm saying? What kind of rust is that? Right? But then it's not only the copper in it though. I smell some zinc in it. There's some zinc in there. There's some selenite in there. There's some Bozak, whatever. Whatever that is. I don't even know if that's anything. You know what I mean? I smell some rose oil on there. You know, some rose oil in there. You know, I smell some astringent sort of acidic. You know what I mean? Lemon, you know what I mean? Citrus. Has some citrus in there. You know what I mean? But to be honest, and it's like what I'm saying is like, yeah, nah, yo. We got to be able to commune. We got to be able to organize, you know, organically. You know what I mean? Like me, I should be able to call someone and say, how long does it take to digest food? Yo, I ain't trying to stay on the phone longer than 7 minutes, man. Longer than it takes for you to tell me this, my nigga. Like, you think anything else, you know, you can just text me after we get off the phone. And niggas be hating to say hello because they don't know how to say goodbye and shit. Like, if you don't fucking grow up, niggas be hating to say hello because they don't know how to say goodbye to a nigga. Just okay, peace. It's how you say goodbye. I love you. Talk to you soon, inshallah. Have my money for me. How much you made is how you say goodbye. Where's the rose, love? Okay? Yes, no. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm wasting time. You know, we getting a waste of time. I'm over here wasting time. I'm sitting up, you know what I mean? I done got carried away. I called you because I was thinking, I know that you are a dietary expert as well as a nutritionist, and I know that also like you was, you know, building a skeleton in your closet, and you know what I mean, out of stretch marks, and I wanted to ask you about the nervous system, and I also had an idea, and I wanted to see how you looked also in this sheer silk too. But that's another. I guess I could just tell you that when I see you. But I'm writing this one poem or whatever, right? And I was thinking about like as far as drinking my water, right? Because my body, I got one body that drink water, then I got another body that eats food. You know what I'm saying? And the body that eats food wants to know how long your body takes to drink water. You know what I mean? And if you wouldn't mind, like if you would be interested, if it would fancy you that if I were to serve you some water or not. You know what I mean? If you would like to partake of some ice water that I could always just prepare and just, you know what I mean, arrange for you to enjoy, you know. But then I don't know how long it take for colder water to be. They say that mess with your digestion, colder water. But at the same time, I was listening to Dr. Sabi. I was watching some shit about, like, you know, advanced sort of, you know what I mean, actualization of your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? connecting with spirit or whatever that shit, whatever the fuck they want to say. And they were saying that you should like not eat and drink at the same time. No fluids when you're digesting. And what's cold is through my experience just with fasting, like dry fasting, because a nigga like me will fuck around and, because I got diabetes traits, right? And I mean, as far as just even with my diet and just in my genetics, both my parents actually have diabetes now. You feel me? But they can cure themselves. Just like the doctors say, be cured. Many people have diabetes just within 10 days, 10, 20 days. Let alone cancer. But you don't want to talk about that though. You don't want to talk about that though. You know, whether you talk about it or not, nigga, the communication is happening, homie. We might as well be focused on what actually matters, what is significant, what is real, because that's real. And what's real is the body is designed for marvelous things, okay? Beyond what anybody will be able to even have the time to realize is happening. Besides them doing it themselves. And when any two people can even halfway completely do it, then that in itself is a conversation, let alone it be a man and a woman, right? Because I don't know many on my level, not that I don't know any. But for sure, I would, like I said, I'm here for that. And I'm not going nowhere without you. I'm not going nowhere without you. It's too simple. It's too important. It's not even all that important. I mean, it's too perfect. Is what it is, yo. This shit is too perfect. Is what it is. It's too perfect. It's too perfect, bro. That's what it is. This shit is too perfect, bro. It's astounding, like, that's what it is. And what's cold is, like, I'm telling you right now, like, as far as it being simple, as far as, like, and this is the point that I'm making, this is the closing assignment for you. Closing a curriculum, the closing course, the closing order. This is the closing order for this 2-hour fucking joint, I've been on this 3 hours, yo. Right? This is a closing order, yo. Aside from 7 ancestors, aside from 40 meals, aside from a minute for every year. Straight, not just, oh, okay, I did it 5 minutes, but then I start thinking about something, so then that don't count now. That don't count. You got to do it straight. What it is you're going to go ahead and take that 40 minutes, say you 30, go ahead and give it 40, because you're not going to do it, but probably, nigga, 30 seconds of really what it is. But you don't get to that 30, my nigga. You sit there for 40 fucking minutes. You gonna get to that 30, my nigga. And every time you do it, my nigga, you gonna recognize that 30, nigga. You gonna recognize it, homie. And you walk around like a little chump ass buster, nigga, acting like you ain't never experienced it, nigga. That's on you, then, homie. All right, you gonna recognize that shit, my nigga, and it's gonna make you feel what is called like a player, my nigga. It's gonna make you feel like a player, but you already a player because you're gonna be feeling like yourself. And nothing else is the part and why I'm right here with you, cuz. With her, homie. And you can find me through her, but I'm still with you. Cause she with you and I'm with her. Alright? That's why I'm right here with her, homie. Alright? Alone and shit right now, without no stretch marks in my K9, for the moment. Cause I got faith, I'm faithful. I'm patient, my nigga, I'm dedicated and disciplined, bro, trust me, my nigga. Not for nothing though, homie, and not for you to be able to say something about some shit. All right? As far as though, digestion and shit. And how long it take to digest some food, so as you can be clear enough to go ahead and take you some water in. Because really, honestly, we supposed to be busy enough to where we ain't even think about eating too much. And I promise you right now, nigga, I wasn't even hungry the last time I ate. I just ate because I felt like, I like taste. I'm spoiled on taste, basically, and that's the only reason a lot of times anybody eats anything is because they want to taste some flavor on their tongue. I already don't have no stretch marks on my tongue. That's really what I want to taste. That's really what my tongue is ready for, right? And so, and when that don't happen, then everything else is fucked all up, right? Everything else is all fucked up. As far as diabetes too, though, as far as like water too, like in drinking too much water, or drinking water at all, just not really wisely with diabetes. It's like, you know what I mean? That's what happens with the diabetes. It throws off your hydration system to a certain extent through your pancreatic sort of sugar creation into all these other things with your blood circulation, as well as fucking generation too. Your blood, making your blood and filtering your blood and all this extra shit. And all that has to do with your thoughts too, because really, it's like if you focus enough, you're not even gonna be thinking about trying to, you know what I mean, indulge on some taste, because it's like you just focus, you know what I mean? You just kind of, you handling what you're doing, and that's actually what I have been doing. The last time I ate, I only ate just because I decided to. I didn't even have no reason why I ate. I just did it. I had already was going to just not eat, but I know my body, and I'm listening to my body, and I'm just living, and I'm going and doing what I'm doing, and I really honestly want to be in a particular situation. This is just a little side note or whatever, as far as like me and my days and my hours, right? Because me personally, I haven't been breathing, right? I did not breathe that day. I don't want to go out and breathe in the sun, even though I'm right here next to the pyramids. Why? Because I got other shit I'm doing anyway. Not like it take up that much time, because I'm a master of time. Oh, and the less I do, it's even better, because it's about quality, not quantity. But when it's the quality first, that means that just that much the quantity, it's just that much more quality. You gotta start somewhere is what I'm saying. Because like I told you at the beginning of this, family, one man, focused, and I'm serious about my shit. I'm not finna to contaminate my shit with no type of residue, nigga. Cause trust me, ain't shit stopping what God say. Right? It's all about what we gonna allow to be confused in the mix. Right? To our influence, to our now managing of it, right? To what we want to say matters to us, right? And like I said, what matters to me is natural. It's not for me to try to control some shit. You know what I mean? I already know what it is taking, and that's what I'm doing. But like I said, the order of the day next to a minute for every year you lived, next to making sure them 40 meals, nigga, that what is called life force energy, you know what I mean? And that's really why it's designed like that. So as far as like, breathing and shit, that's just one part of it. That's a little part of it. So that's essential. That's a beautiful thing. And it's all good. It's all good in that it is all God. It is nothing that exists outside of God. So anything going on is only what you want to make it out to be. Whatever name you want to put on it. The order of the night, though, is as far as like that 100 minutes a day, just to be safe, since we making up for lost time or whatever. Being that you only 30, 33, maybe even 40, maybe even 42, that ain't nothing but 84 minutes. I've been on this for 3 times that already, telling you about this, right? Without a script, right? Without a degree, right? Without a dollar in my pocket. Otherwise, it's like, okay, but shit, I gotta conserve that energy, because that's like, you feel me? Niggas be trying to hook you with that, yo. Niggas try to hook you with little shit, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's less of more, but then even just like the more end up becoming less at that point when it ain't really set up the way it need to be. And it's not nothing wrong. It's like, but if you want to try to make some out of it, nigga, I mean, shit, you could always just be doing it your motherfucking self. Whatever you feel like another nigga not doing, you know what I'm talking about? I don't think about what a nigga not doing is unless they not having my roles ready for me. And I ain't think about that until, of course, I'm subjected what happened to respond to some shit that they didn't feel like they didn't want to subject me to. Or subject my activity to, because I'm gonna stay doing much, family. At all moments, even in sitting still, fool. Okay? Now, as far as the 100 minutes, right? Because I was gonna say, you check your Instagram, what do you call it, involved in activity, right? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't know how you do it on your phone. I'm not like a wizard, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a geek or whatever. I am like a nerd. I'm not even a nerd. I'm not even necessarily a geek. I'm just like a dweeb, right? You know what I mean? Genius and shit, low key, but it's like at the same time, it's not like I'm like all this extra like advanced type of like, you know what I'm saying, super knowledgeable, intelligent ass nigga. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just not a liar. I mean, I just don't be faking. You feel me? I'm just real. I stay true to myself. You know what I mean? And I can sense when they